Okay, guys, I have another banger for you today. It's what to do when your items are doomed. Okay, and before we start the video, I just want to let you guys know I am streaming at twitch.tv/xFSN Saber every day, TFT content, or maybe I'll do League when new season comes out. But please, if you enjoy the videos, please let me know on the stream. It would mean a lot if you guys stop by and say hi, okay? So without further ado, let's start the video. What I have for you here today is a game where I played, and the items were absolutely doomed. Okay, and we'll play this. It's a 3-cost champion start, but we'll play the video. And basically, what happened was I could not make any S tier items. Okay, so S tier items being like blue buff, red buff, IE, even shroud, like things that give you direction and let you basically play the game. Okay, because if you can't kind of make these items, then you don't really have a strong board or anything to play for. Lets you make a bunch of like mid items like Spark, Sunfire, and GS early game. You're not really saving any HP, and you really have no direction slash any comp to play for. You can't spike late game, right? So here I open with Heartsteel Cassante, best chosen in the game. One cost chosen in the game besides Quirky, so a bit of luck there. And then if you fast forward a bit, I do get dropped super fan units, so that's not bad. That's not bad. And I have a sword, and you're like, oh wait, what's wrong? Sword, belt, looks like even shroud IE, no problem. Okay, so let's fast forward a bit, and I get a tier. Okay, so here you might be thinking, if you are in any way in tune with the meta, you're just like, oh, this is Ari, bro. We're making blue buff Nash's gunplay, no problem. Oh, this is Ezreal. Like we're making blue buff IE even shroud, no problem. Okay, so let's watch a video. Okay, so here we're just looking at augments. Jewel Lotus, this is not very good impact. Good later, but low impact early. Same with vampirism, but even better later. Low impact early, but even better later. Can be played in any comp. Gargantuan. I'm considering Gargantuan because I'm a dirty melee reroller, but I'm just like, man, why would I take this when I could just take Vampirism? You know what I'm saying? So I think I take Vampirism. We try to make the strongest board possible. I have Super Fan. Good early game start. Good early game start. But what that means, with so many people open forwarding, no one making boards, is that I will be a last pick on the carousel. We fast forward this. I have a strong board. I know what I'm playing. I'm going to play KDA next. I have super fans in. I have the strongest one cost chosen. It's pretty lit for me. But I can't make any items, right? You might be thinking, okay, why can't you make Sterix? Okay, Sterix is terrible. No, not a core item for anyone later, and it just blows. In general, like not a carry item, not a tank item, doesn't scale, doesn't spike my board. What about redemption? Exactly the same thing, doesn't spike my board, sucks later. It's supposed to be good later, but right now it's just not a very good item. It's not very effective. And then Shojin, one of the worst items in the game, got nerfed too many times. Yeah, doesn't really spike the board now. No good users later. Mid on, only playable on Karthus TF really. It's just like kind of mid on them. Even though it is their item, their mana gen item. Probably part of the reason why Karthus TF not exactly in meta, although TF is seeing a lot of play. Karthus definitely not. And a lot of times you'll see Karthus with, TF with like red buff as his like mana gen item, or like an augments with infusion or cybernetic uplink or whatever, right? You really don't want to make a Shojin unless you're like giga streaking. Okay, so we did get the carousel here because I'm win streaking. I have the undesirable outcome of picking last, and of course all the carry items are taken. Okay, so all you're gonna be left with is rod and tank items, right? Why is that? Because tier makes blue buff, people are gonna want tier. Crit makes IE, people want that. If they have a crit, they take a sword so they can make an IE, right? If they have a bow, they take a bow so they can make a red buff. Everything's gonna be taken by the time your last pick. So you're like, what do I do? Okay, you can either slam an item. So here I could take belt. We could take a Warmogs, make a Warmogs, I guess. But instead I opt for a rod, right? And you might be thinking, isn't rod like the worst, like the bottom 2 component? Why did I take a rod? It's because it was on a 3 cost, and I had no idea what I wanted to take, right? So you could there is definitely an argument to make Warmogs because we're streaking. We like to preserve streak. So we should take a Warmogs. But I was just like, man, it just does not feel right. I just wanted to take a rod. for the 3 cost, and I was like, maybe I'm thinking Riven, and then I like look at these items. I'm like, in what universe am I playing Riven from here? I need 3 cloaks and I have 0, huh? So I just started selling everything. We just make 20, right? Okay, so we keep streaking. We actually lost streak there, very bad. I took a if I had made a Warmogs off Carousel, let's see how the fight was pretty close. If I had made a Warmogs off the Carousel, I could have preserved streak. So probably a mistake, right? But you know, I took Rod, and then I'm like, okay, I kind of want to play Ari. Like this could be Gunblade, blue buff Gunblade Nashers. We're definitely leaning towards Ari, not Ezreal, because I just took a Rod, and Rods in 80 flex really just end up becoming Morello's worst case scenario or Crown Guard best case scenario, right? So I'm like, it's fine. Like, I'm gonna see what happens on Krugs, and I'm like, I just lost. Maybe I'll just make 30. Play for Hearthstone here. Pretty sure I saw Nico. I'm just like, let's just psychopath sell a bunch of stuff. I did hold Garen, so I could have the 4 Sentinel potential. Up to you. You guys in the comments, let me know what you guys think. Is selling my super fan package worth holding the Garrett? I could have held at least a Kennen and hope for the Narback or something like that. Could have super fan potential on stage 3. But I was playing I'm just playing Hearthstone here, so I was feeling like it doesn't really feel like a you know, kind of hard to fit super fan and Hearthstone in and have damage, right? Because your level 6 board would be like 2 Hearthstone and then 3 super fan plus 1. You don't look, it doesn't look like you have any damage, right? So I'm sitting here just like, what do I do? And I just start holding a bunch of units. I'm like, okay, maybe I can play Bard. I get a Cloak. That doesn't help. We all know that doesn't help, right? A Cloak could be even Shroud, but I can't play AD because I have a Rod and a Tier. That's not going to work. And I want to play AP, so I make a Spark. But then I'm stuck with Sword Tier Belt again. And then am I picking on Carousel? I don't know. Do I in 3 rounds to try and pick off Carousel? So the items aren't looking very good, right? Clearly the items are looking a little bit sus. And then so I'm thinking here, okay, what do we do? What do we do when the items look doomed, okay? And the first thing you do is try and figure out what carry item can I make, or at least aim to make off Carousel or off a random Reforge. What carry item can I aim to make in order to find direction? Direction being narrow your possibility of compositions, okay? By making a core carry item. So like say, for example, I make a blue buff. Boom, blue buff. I am now narrowing my choices. Great item. Help your board now. And I narrow my late game choices to Ari. And potentially, like, if you have to, let's just do Ari and Ezreal. Those are the main 2. And then, like, Akali if you have to. And then, like, maybe Kiana if you high roll, right? But, you narrow your options into Ari and Ezreal. And then if you make an even Shroud, then you narrow even further. You know you're playing Ezreal. You know you really want to play Ezreal or some form of Ezreal Akali or something like that. And you really, really, really want to play AD. Right, and then you know what you're playing for. You go for the roll down. You know what you're playing for. You know what units to hold. You're playing Ezreal. We hold Kaisa, maybe one MF, and then we play like the true damage. You know, maybe we're holding like saying like no, we're playing for Akali. No one plays for Akali when you have blue buff, but let's say you're playing for Ari because you have a Spark and a blue buff. Then you're just holding all the Sentinels, and then you're gonna click on Sentinel Chosen, and you're gonna hold Ari's, and it's everything's good, right? But here, okay, so here you're just thinking like you need to find direction here. Okay, and so on the augment choices, you could take Radiant Relics to find direction. You could take Unleashed Arcana to find direction. But if you think about it, no comp in the game uses Jewel Gauntlet, Deathcap, Rod, unless it's Karthus. Okay, Karthus, EDM, with like Jax, but I don't think I'm playing Jax here. And then maybe TF, but this is too much AP for TF. They Jewel Gauntlet, Deathcap. This is a bit too much. Okay. Radiant Relic. I was considering. Let's take Radiant Relic to find direction. But then I've done this. I've taken this before. I've taken this augment before, and there's a high chance you just get giga screwed on items like you could get offered 5 tank options or like 5 melee carry options. It's really bad. Okay. I think Radiant Relics is one of the ways to instantly lose the game, in my opinion. Okay. So I would not take it. And then if you have a bunch of components you can't use, Cybernetic Bulk sounds really good, right? Very strong augment, especially when you spread the components. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I was considering Unleashed Arcana. I'm like, bro, I need to figure something out here. But Bulk, okay, Bulk lets you use the components now without actually making anything. And you'll notice something interesting happening here. I have 2 Bard and 2 Lulu. And I'm looking to play AP because I have this Tier and Rod. And so you should be thinking to yourself, what comps are available to me from this spot? Okay, on 3-2, you should know what you're playing, so you know what units to hold, so that on your 4-2 roll down, you can spend as little money as possible to stabilize, because you have all the supporting units, right? So here, I'm like literally just spreading the items. I'm just like, you get this, you know, Lulu you can have tier, because blue buff is a great item on Lulu, and then probably like Bar gets a rod, right? Just spreading these components, and just note that because we're spreading these components, it's a little bit harder to play RE Sentinel, because I actually put components on the Sentinels. And you know, you're gonna have to remake these Sentinels if you want the components off, or you're just gonna have to live with the components on them. Like if I get an Asher's, so sad, that's no problem. But if I want to make a Gunblade, I would have to remake the gear, right? And so you might be thinking, what on earth am I gonna play here? Okay, and I can tell you, you can figure out from this spot. You can actually tell, you can actually figure it out from this spot. Okay, and the hint is I'm playing towards AP, and I am looking to make core items. So blue buff, and you might be thinking, oh, it's just Ari, right? So it's just, you just play Ari here from here, right? You just play Ari. You have Gunblade, you have half a blue buff, you have half a Nashers. It looks really good, and I would agree. Okay, we're playing Ari. No problem. We're playing Ari, except for the little issue of I do eventually scout the lobby. I'm like, oh, I want to play Ari. How many people are playing Ari? And it turns out 2 or 3 other people are already playing Ari. Now, if you know anything about this set, if you play this set contested, you're gonna have a bad time, right? And I know Ari is probably the best comp on this patch. I think it's easiest to say because it's low skill, easy to hit. But if too many people are playing it, you're just not gonna find your units. It's going to be hard to find Blitz chosen, Ari chosen, any copies of Ari, any copies of Blitz, let alone 2-star them. And so, yeah, you can see I'm putting in the team planner. I have a little secret tech up my sleeve. What can I play that's AP and also use this champion duplicator on the bench? Okay, and you might be thinking, okay, what the hell did you just click on in the team planner? Like what? He's clicking on Lulu? Yeah, I'm gonna play Lulu. Okay, so one rule of thumb that I've kind of, you know, decided in my head, not sure if you guys agree or is true or what, but you have 2 copies of a 3 cost. Also that tier I really need, but I can't get obviously. If you have 2 copies of a 3 cost, you can consider rerolling, as long as you have the items and augments for it, right? So if 2 Riven early, oh, me Riven. 2 Yone early, oh, me Yone, right? Like that's an option. 2 Samira early, you can play Samira. That's what I would say is like a good time to consider committing. So I have 2 Lulu here, and I eventually scout, and I'm just like, okay, I took a rod here because we're playing towards AP. I'm like, fuck it, we need more rods. This could be a spark, right? I'm thinking like, oh, I'm scouting. I'm like, oh, we can't play Ari. Okay, I scout eventually, right? Like, let's fast forward. Okay, here I started scouting. Okay, one guy's Jax, that guy's 80 flex. That's Ezreal. I'm looking at his items. That guy's blue buff, diamond hands. He's playing towards Ari. This guy's 80 flex as well. I'm just like, okay, one other Ari player. Okay, it's doable. It's doable, right? And then let's fast forward a bit, and then I scout some more. I see. Oh my god, Lulu too. Lulu too. It's time for the Lulu attack, right? So I scout some more. Okay, hold up. I definitely scout here somewhere. I see this guy made a Gunblade. He has he's playing binary, and then he has an Ari on bench. And I'm like, oh shit, this guy's an Ari on bench. Like he has an Ari on bench and half a blue buff. Not sure. And he already made a Gunblade. Suspicious, right? Suspicious. Okay, let's keep scouting. I'm like, oh, someone's already playing Ari. I saw that, right? Did you see that? Someone's playing KDA Ari straight up. I'm like, Jesus, that guy already hit. Like, I don't want to contest this anymore. Like, that guy already hit. The other guy, the Gunblade guy, looks like he's playing Ari. He's holding an Ari. Bro, like, 2 other people minimum are playing Ari. I'm like, I don't know, man. So I'm just like, let me just not play Ari, okay? And then, okay, yeah, let's look at the items here. Because we're already committed AP. I took 2 rods, right? I took 2 rods here. And I'm clicking on spell weavers, right? I'm just making the comp up as I go along. If you have, when watching my YouTube, you know I have played this before. I'm just like, okay, what do I make? Not sure. But I do know spellweavers get a lot of AP, so spell crit seems to make sense. I know that Jewel Gauntlet is not very good right now, but out of these items I can make, bro, I'm a little bit lost. I'm down to make something, right? And then we're gonna play for blue buff on Lulu because this is the most important item. Just like Ari, Lulu needs blue buff, so I'm gonna go for tier on Carousel and tier on the Raptors Anvil drop. And then the last item, if you look at the stats here, if you guys want me to make a video on how to look up stats, how I look up stats, You go to tactics.tools, and then you go to stats, you go to explorer, and you say, Lulu 3, what's good on Lulu 3? Okay, look at the items. Shojin Gigabad, Nash's Gigabad, all this is terrible. Yeah, Jugang is pretty bad. But blue buff, very important. Static, red buff, GS, all good. The negative delta means good thing. Positive delta means bad thing. Okay, that means you placed higher. Placing higher, placing higher as in like you went 8th. Okay, and then negative delta is like you went first. Okay, so. And I get a bow. I'm like, oh, okay, bow item sounds good. And then so now I'm playing Lulu, okay, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do. So we're gonna sell and then roll for Lulu and comp. Just being the spell weavers. Oh, that was a nice little RE here. Nice little RE here. And I basically have Lulu 3. Once I hit the Lulu, I basically have Lulu 3, right? And here you can see me fixing my board. Hopefully I play like a Sentinel here, but I keep rolling. I'm like trying to buy the Seraphine. Honestly, who cares about Seraphine? When Seraphine 2 no diff. But basically, this is what I did. Okay? This is what I did in order to solve my items. Is I had AP, and I had no idea what to play. But I knew based on items what I wanted to play. Right, which is Ori, but then I saw it was double contested. Like the Diamond Hands guy. Diamond Hand guy did in fact go Ori, by the way. So there are 2 other Ori players in this lobby besides me. There's a high chance I would have missed on the roll down. We would be very sad. Yeah, we'd be very sad. I know some of you guys are like, oh, fuck it, just contest, right? But yeah, I'm not really down to contest. I've done that before and not hit, and it feels really bad. Just go fast 8th, and I'm just like, bruh. So we went for the other option, which is Lulu. And then there's another option where if you make Archangel, you can try and go for Lux. But I had no copies of Lux. I wanted to reroll something that was AP. My options were like Lux and Lulu and maybe Vex. But then maybe I have to play like Vex Samira or something. No, actually, I had to cook up something. I have to giga cook something, okay? I have no idea. If I'm playing Vex main, I have no idea, bro. I guess I'm cooking like Vex Samira, you know what I'm saying? Country, I don't know, bro. But I have messed around with Lulu before. And so I'm like, okay, we play Lulu. And it's easy to hit Lulu because I had 2 copies. And then you can see I'm kind of bleeding out because I'm missing items on Lulu. But this gets solved because I'm losing HP. I can finally get good at items off Carousel. So we're going to bleed a bit here. And then I'm going to take a bow. Ignore the spat. You can't really do anything with the spat. I want teal or bow. Makes red buff. Or sword. I can make GS. That's fine too. Just any of the bow items we saw. Static was good. GS was good. Red buff was good. And then, yeah, I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm bow. I take bow here. We level because we already hit the Lulu. So we're going to level and try and look for 7 spells / upgrade our frontline, right? We need to upgrade this frontline. But really, I'm looking for Echo here for the 7th spell. Echo over Mord, right? I'm just like, oh, yeah. And then when you hit your units, you should just take them out of the team planner so you don't get confused. So yeah, I do have I have a open set here. Set is just going to be a Lowy. I make the Mord because I didn't hit Echo. We're just waiting for Echo, and then you can do items last. So items last, make a red buff. Make sure your carry is hitting the shredded target or sundered target. In this case, it's the set with the spark. So I put Lulu right behind him. And it's funny, you see the lineup. The lineup actually killed the Vex. You can actually do a little bit of lining up with Lulu. It's pretty inconsistent because you have KDA tiles to work on and stuff. But there is a universe we can try and kill backline units with Lulu. And you can see that this comp is actually working out not too bad, right? With these items, with these, we couldn't make a blue buff, we couldn't make an IE, we couldn't make a red buff, we couldn't make a even shroud, we couldn't make any S tier items, we couldn't even make tank items, couldn't make war mods, couldn't make heartsteel, I couldn't make any S tier items, and yet I found a way to meander my way towards an acceptable comp, just knowing a few facts. Fact 1, we're playing AP. Fact 2, I would like to reroll something with the duplicator. And fact 3, the main AP comp I wanted to play, which is RE, was Giga contested. Okay. Now you might be wondering, oh, he didn't have to play Lulu reroll. Like he could have done like Karthus TF. And you'd be right, I could have played Karthus TF, but because I had a duplicator and multiple copies of Lulu, it was super easy to hit Lulu reroll. Okay, so you're wondering, okay, what if I didn't have any Lulu? What if I had 3 Lux? I'm playing Lux reroll. Fuck it. We can play Lux reroll. You're playing Lex reroll. You're playing a bunch of frontline, slowly converting to 5 EDM. The frontline could be Sentinels, could be Moshers. To play with Jax, you know, probably not Moshers, probably like Sentinels and Bruisers with Set and Set +1 or Set plus Alawi or whatever. And you can play that way. And you're like, oh, this comp sucks. I just lost. Yeah, I'm missing a carry item. Okay, I'll give Lulu a break. She's missing an item. She's missing the blue buff here. But if I had copies of Lux, I would play Lux reroll. Okay, and let's say I didn't have Lux copies or Lulu copies, in which case then I would go 8 and either Ori Gamba or look for a TF or Karthus, whatever is acceptable, and try and build a board around that. Probably play for 6th, 5th, 4th. You know, but that's what you do, okay? When your item, you know, your items look doomed, okay? You're like, bro, I wanted to, I don't know what to make. Remember, you make good items that narrow your focus. Based on, and you can base it off your current board, okay? Unless you have like a win out comp, you want to base it off your current board. And what I had was Bards and Lulus. Obviously, we're playing towards AP with Tears and Rods. So we built towards Tear and Rod, making a Spark, planning for a blue buff, and made a Jewel Gauntlet. Okay, and that's how you kind of fix these items, so to speak. Oh yeah, and here you can see me looking for a blue buff. I got it from reforging that sword of Gragius. A little bit of RNG, but you might be thinking like, oh, he just got lucky. But okay, I got unlucky. That was a 50-50 on the Anvil. I didn't get a blue buff. That's some bullshit. All good though. It ended up working out, and then now I have my comp online, 7 Spellweaver. And the only thing to do to upgrade is Sona over Annie, go 9, Alawi over Set, and then we make a Echo 2, and we're chilling. You can see the power of this comp. I'm fighting a Yone 3. It's kind of close. Ooh, he's dead. Send him to the Shadow Realm. Let's go. And then the rest of this is just going 9 and playing Alawi and whatnot. Okay, and so when your items are doomed, you must find a comp to play. Okay, just remember, lay out your facts. Okay, what do my items tell me? I'm playing 80 or AP, and what items can I slam that will help me now and give me direction? Okay, items that are good now, and that will help me narrow my focus so that I know what my options are. Right, made a Spark, made a Jewel Gauntlet. We have, and then do I have any like duplicators that tell me, or copies of anything that tell me I can reroll? Okay, and then once you know all that, then you set course for your main line. So my main line was Lulu. Okay, so now I put in the team planner all the units I think will go well with Lulu, so the Spellweavers, and then the default front line, because Echo is a Spellweaver, play Sentinel, Greg is a Spellweaver, play Bruiser. Easy, right? And then you aim for that main line. Okay, now if we were not playing reroll and we were going for AP and we're going level 8, then you would say, my main line I want to aim is, let's say you want to aim like Karthus. Then you start holding pentakill units, aim Karthus, and you find the Disco TF with, you know, TFable items. Then you can take the TF and start looking for Disco units. You know, stop rolling, team planner it out, pick the Nami, pick the Gragius, pick the Taric, pick the Blitz, and then Echo and all that stuff, and then you start rolling for TF stuff. Okay, so that's how you would this is what you need to do when your items look doomed. Okay, is you're eventually trying to figure out a late game a stage 4 comp that you can play. Stage 4 comp leading into stage 5. This is like the late game. Okay, stage 4 is the beginning of the late game, like 4-2, 4-1, 4-2, and then stage 5 is like getting the top 4 and then getting past top 4, you know, placing higher. Okay, and you're gonna watch these fights, you can see how these fights pair up, but this guy's a bit fraudulent. This guy didn't hit Samira. So it's a bit fraudulent. But yeah, I killed his ass too. Fast forward a bit. We can take what am I looking for here? Like blue buff for Ari. Could be like a blue buff for Ari. It got taken, right? So I don't know. It could be like Shojin, could be frontline item. I'd probably end up taking the stone plate, but I can see an argument for Shojin. But it's already 1 right now, so I'm down to just make a frontline item, you know what I mean? Fast forward here, you're just gonna level on 6-1. Unless I lose this fight, in which case I might be scared. Not sure. I'm probably not scared. I have 2 lives, right? So I'm playing for first. I'm already top 4. That 2 HP guy is dead as hell, right? I forgot about unified value here. Let's pretend you didn't see that. But yeah, the rest of this is just playing for a highest placement possible, because I think I've already secured top 4. right? So we're gonna level. We're gonna find Sona. We're gonna find Alawi. That was a nice little high roll. Alawi on 8, and then immediately replace the set. And then we're just looking for like a +1 here, finishing the RA, looking for Sona. +1 is probably just like Kiana. It's probably just Kiana. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. I ended up playing this Yorick, I believe, because I couldn't really find anything. Yeah, it ends up being the Yorick. Although I don't really like this Yorick here. It's not really great. You know, just looking for frontline. In fact, I think I was a little bit too hasty selling this set because I think a set 2, Alawi 1 is probably better than this random Yorick. Just so you know, you probably don't want to immediately sell when you find a replacement. Maybe you don't have a +1. But yeah, I just make an Ari item. You know, I was hoping to find Sona, make a Rage Blade, but that didn't happen. And you can see I'm playing against this Ezreal 80 flex board with my unconventional Lulu reroll, and it's kind of popping off, right? Look at this. I'm kind of on equal footing. This guy's a Sona 2 with a Rage Blade, by the way, and I beat him. Okay, so as long as your idea makes sense with items and the carry and the comp, okay, as long as your items, as long as it's logical, you got front line, you have back line, your items are great for your carry, whatever you choose to carry, it'll work out. Okay, so we fast forward this top 3, and then I end up losing to this Jin board, unfortunately. Didn't find the Sona. I ended up playing a Kiana. The board is not the best. You know, I have a stone plate, but you know, no item Ari. I mean, it could be worse, okay? And it was pretty close actually. The fight was kind of close, right? Not bad at all for us floundering in the mid game trying to figure out what to play. Okay, so if you remember, if your items look bad, there is oftentimes a way to save it. You just need to find core items to make and give yourself direction. And some of the best ways to do that is make items for your current board, and then figure out what lines you can play from there. Okay, lines being what comps you can play from there. Okay, and if you're new to TFT, you have no idea what to play. You just look at the meta comps. You say I'm at AP or AD, and you look at the meta comps and you say, okay, can these units use these items? Okay, can these units use these items? Can these units use these core items? You know, so we make it playing AP. We just go through the list, cut out all the 80 comps. You're not touching any of the 80 stuff because we can't play Ezreal Caitlyn with a Jewel Gauntlet, right? So then we're playing towards only AP stuff. Okay, and you go from there. So thank you for watching. I hope this helped you guys figure out what to do when your items aren't looking so good. And as always, you can ask questions in the comments, or better yet, hit me up on stream. I'm always probably streaming every day. Okay, so if you have questions, hit me up on stream, and hopefully I will see you guys there. Okay, thank you for watching. Hope you guys learned something, and I will see you guys next time.